Welcome back to another edition of Holding Court with Coach Jeff Nelson. I'm J.D. Healy, and Coach, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, and a little trip out of town again. This time heading up north to Colorado and over to Wyoming. Didn't turn out the way we really wanted it to, but let's talk about first Colorado.
Yeah, well, first it was the ending of 3 straight road trips. Glad to have it over, and that's a tough trip. A trip that has always been difficult, and both of the teams are really good this year. They're both have been in the top 25 this year. So.
Right. Yeah, you fly up to Colorado, play, and then you get on a bus and head on over to Wyoming the next day.
I wish it was a bus, but no, we get in vans and drive over.
Yeah, which is also rough on the team. You head out to Wyoming, and that was a Dig Pink game.
Yep. So it was a full week. Both the teams draw well. We faced tough opponents and big crowds and not so friendly confines, but they're both talented. Going to the Colorado State game, we felt prepared. We came out the first game and battled, and then at the end of the game let it get away. And I think it was 25-22, but it just didn't work out at the end, and then we struggled from there. But I think we went back. We tried something different. We've tried a lot of things, but we had Julia Warren at the libero position. She did a great job. She really motivated the team and had 12 digs and just felt like maybe this was a match where she could stabilize that position a little bit. And but in doing so, realized that we probably needed her in the offense, and she came back in Game 3 and played well offensively for us. But I think that's part of the problem is we just have uncertainty in a few positions or a couple positions, and it's created a lot of stress or distraction for the group. And I think being just past the halfway point and stuff, we've kind of made a decision this week that whoever is winning the position on Thursday is going to play it for a while, because I just feel like, we've had Stephanie Chavez in that position. We've had Ashley in that position. We've had Mercedes Pacheco in that position and Warren. And so I think we have to make a decision this week and move forward with it. But I think it's created some uncertainty. I think we've got to get a little more offense at the net, and so we're going to look at not necessarily switching our hitters, but switching the positions they play maybe, so we can hopefully generate a few more kills per game, because our kills per game are not bad, but they're average, and that's what our record is right now, very average, and it's not what we're used to, it's not what we like, and we've got to keep working hard to make that better.
So that decision to go with whoever is winning this on Thursday is really more about continuity. And you talk about getting your kills. You want to stay in system, and all that right. Basically starts for everybody kind of knowing what everybody else is going to do.
It does, and until last week we had been a very good serving team. We in the Colorado State match had 10 serving errors. We repeated that again in the Wyoming match, and that was unfortunate because we've been a really good serving team all year. And if that had held up, I think we would have made it further into the match, but into both matches. But I think continuity and the nice part is all 14 kids have played a fair amount. They're good kids. They're ready to go. But we just feel like we need to move forward. We've just had so many ups and downs with 4 or 5 of them, and we just feel like we need to move forward and live with what happens with it.
Well, before we talk about what's coming up this week, we're going to do our former segment of the Alumni of the Week, and this week we're going to talk about Michaela Lovato.
Yeah, Michaela was 2010 to 2013. She was our libero. She was a libero of the year in the Mountain West Conference and a 2-time first-team All-Mountain West Conference player. Small but packed a punch.
Yes.
I mean, she was one of the at the time the smallest player on the team, probably still would be, and but tough as nails. And her senior year was a captain and a great leader. Interesting, was a pretty quiet player most of her career, and then her senior year really changed it around and became more vocal, a little more geared towards that leadership position, and did a great job. She's working in national security up at Los Alamos, and she's coaching at Pewaukee. She's the head volleyball coach at Pewaukee High School, and got to talk to her a little bit yesterday, and she said her favorite memory of playing here was her last home game, her senior night, when she got to come out in front of a big crowd and all her family and friends, and you know, talking about her leadership and stuff. That season we had 24 wins, which was the most dating back to, I think, the late 80s, and so great season for her senior year. We were 24-7, and she also said that she misses the Albuquerque community, the volleyball community. She feels like it's a tight community and a really good volleyball community. She said she runs into people all the time that recognize her from her playing days here, and just thinks all of that's really great. And she's made it back to a couple matches this year, and it's always good to see her. She always brings a positive face and a good conversation, and so hopefully we'll continue to see her around. But she's back up in her home area and helping out at Pewaukee.
Matt Martinez, the athletic director up there, great guy, and Pewaukee is a very proud volleyball school too.
Yeah.
You know, there's no
Very
doubt about
much
it. So great for her to go back and serve her community like that. And it's funny when you mentioned that last game, I could still see her whole family up in the, and all of her friends up in the stands there. That was great, and their support for her was tremendous. Also, when I think of Michaela Lovato, I know that I've seen her standing up, but I think of Michaela Lovato and I just see her rolling by this way and rolling by that way, because she just threw her body out there to get the ball back up in the air.
She did, and she would dive into the bleachers, and because of that she had a couple concussions while she was here that were really difficult. And I also think of a couple times when she was really sick and played through it, and just was so tough for us, and such a good positive part of that time here. But she I remember when we were warming up at Air Force, and we're playing a game, and ball sprays out into the bleachers, and she runs and dives into the bleachers and in practice to make the play and gets a head concussion. And we had already had a few injuries. It was her junior year. We'd already had a few injuries that year. And Lisa followed her into the bleachers, and everybody else was kind of going, oh my gosh, what just happened? And Lisa's yelling, you don't dive into the bleachers when we only have 9 or 10 players. You just don't do that, you know. And looking back, it's a funny thing. At the time it was pretty stressful, but that's the kind of player she was, and she always went for it, and she always played aggressively, and really have a lot of respect for her.
Great to touch base with you, Michaela. I hope everything continues to go well for you. Moving forward here, we've got some action coming up this week. You're home again. And boy, I tell you, I've been getting lit up on Facebook. Everybody, you know, waiting for the team to come back and excited for it. We're going to get kicked off here on Thursday night, 7 o'clock at Johnson Center with Fresno.
On Thursday night, that's going to be an exciting game. Fresno's playing a little better right now. They started the season a little slow, but they're playing well. Santa Bowens is their senior outside hitter, does a great job. She gave us fits last year. We split with them last year, and that's a player we definitely need to look out for. But they've got some others that that have picked it up this year. They have a transfer from New Mexico State who certainly will be familiar with us and is doing a good job for them, and always well coached, always battle us hard. And you know, we need to get back into our home confines to Johnson and settle in and start racking up some wins in here. And this is our first chance, and I think that everyone's going to be really happy to just be back home and to play in that home with the home crowd there and just the confines of Johnson. You know, beyond that, I think you know, like I said, we've got some work to do this week. We've really got to settle in on a libero. We've got to, we're going to do some switch blocking and some different things to get Cassie House more swings on the left side. Some things like that that I think will help us as well.
No doubt about it. We look forward to that. Players of note, you mentioned Zaina Bowens, Carly Scarborough is another outside hitter for them.
I think she leads them in kills, yeah.
Their setter is Brooke Legault, and their libero is Maggie Eppright. And I remember Maggie Eppright also from last year. So we definitely have our work cut out for us, but I think the team is up to it.
I think they're ready, and I think it's going to be good volleyball weekend.
The weekend starts off Saturday for us, and it'll be the UNLV Rebels 1 o'clock Saturday at Johnson Center.
Yeah, and I need to make sure that our fans know that, because originally on our schedule it said 7, but then football went to 6 because there's a home football game. So anytime that happens, we have to adjust, and so we're back at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and I just want to make sure that we get the word out. We're going to be putting it out on social media and hopefully in the newspaper and stuff this week, but some of our fans have been a little stressed about some of our game time changes, but we don't really control that. It happens for different reasons. Going to the pit was because of the Book of Mormon being here at Popejoy, and we've had a couple time changes because of football having home games when we do as well, and we just, you know, we got to go with the flow, and we want people to be able to go to everything. We want our support staff to be able to help out and do a great job at our event and be able to be involved in football's event too. And so this is what works best for us. But we just want to make sure our fans know that we're at 1 on Saturday.
I think the perfect plan for Saturday is to come down, enjoy a Lobo volleyball match, and a Lobo volleyball win. That's what we want. And then have a late lunch, early dinner before heading on over to the football game. Or do some of that great
tailgating.
That's right.
You know, that sounds like a good plan too. And then, and then head into the football game. And, you know, I'm a season ticket holder for football, and that's my plan for Saturday is to, I've got family in town, and, you know, is to have a great match with UNLV and then go over and hopefully help cheer our football team on to another win.
Let's talk about some key players from the UNLV Rebels. A couple of these you're going to know pretty darn well, Bree Hamill and Alexis Patterson.
Yeah, Lexi and Bree traveled with the team I coached to Europe this summer. Both started on that team. They did a great job. Really good players, good kids, and they, you know, they're going to be a handful. Both were all-conference, first-team all-conference players last year. Both very well trained. They'll definitely give us fits, as will their other middle. I think it's Kincaid, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is also an outstanding blocker.
Sienna Kincaid.
Yeah. And so, you know, they have a really good right side. So, you know, they've got a lot going, and they're 11-6, and they're playing well. Another team that started the season a little bit slow, but is playing good ball right now. And they're always low air, which this year has given us fits. So we've got to make some adjustments, be more low air to battle a team like that. But I know they'll bring it. Like I said, I know those kids. They're great competitors and great athletes, and it'll be a tough match and a good match. It always is when we play UNLV.
Besides all the regular fun activities that go on during Lobo volleyball games at Johnson Center, anything else special going on for either Thursday or Saturday?
Saturday's Dig Pink. Saturday's our Dig Pink game. There'll be, you know, wear pink out if you want to, wear a ribbon, whatever. And then there'll be some tables set up. There'll be bidding for, we always have a number of baskets, different things, and all that money goes to our local University of New Mexico Cancer Center. And but Allison's got a bunch of things set up for that. If anybody wants to donate, you can call Allison Buck at our office. But she's got a whole bunch of baskets and things she's doing, and we line them up where people come in and they can do, it's a live auction. They can bid on it on a sheet, and at halftime we announce the winners, close the bidding, and then all of it's donated. So all of that profit then goes to the Cancer Center.
Oh, that's awesome and incredible.
And she does a great
pretty
job
typical
every year
of
with
what
it.
this team, yeah, that's great. Let's talk a little bit just before we conclude the show here. I want to remind folks that that not only do they get a chance to come out and watch Division I volleyball at its best here, but when that game's over, every one of the girls on the team stays around, signs volleyball, signs posters, talks with kids, not just the kids, the parents that are out there too, watching.
Yeah, no, it's a great atmosphere. It's a great atmosphere for families. The young women on our team do stay out on the floor afterwards. They sign autographs. They hang out and visit with people. It's very hands-on, which is what we've always wanted it to be. Since I came here, that's always been our goal, is to create a feeling that you could have a relationship with the players. You could be hands-on. You could feel like you were attached, and they do a great job with that. We really need our fans on Thursday night. We don't have our band because there's a big band festival this weekend, and so our band always does a great job, but we're not going to have them this weekend, so we really need our fans to come out and fill that section of the bleachers and make it better for our players. But our kids are working hard. As I said before, they're really committed to not, we're 9-9. They're really committed to turning it around and finishing strong, and they're great kids. And they're a little bit frustrated with it right now, but they're not going to throw in the towel. They're extremely committed, working hard, and I have a lot of faith and trust that we'll be moving forward and playing good ball, hopefully the rest of the way.
We're excited for it, and folks want you to know that we've talked to all the regular fans that are there all the time. They said they're going to make a little bit of room. They want you to come out Thursday night. When you come out Thursday night, you're going to see a great game. You'll love it and have such a great time. We'll see you again on Saturday. So Thursday, 7 o'clock at Johnson Center, Fresno. And then on Saturday, come back for the Lobos v. UNLV, 1 o'clock on Saturday. Make a day of it. Lobo volleyball, Lobo football. Should be great. If you can't make it, go to golobos.com. We'll have the game streaming live on there as well. And Coach, best of luck this week. Can't wait to see you on Thursday. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I think this is going to be a good week.
We'll see you next time on Holding Court with Coach Jeff Nelson.